came together, originally it was Darrell and I had an idea to do a Shellwork show from his community and from the South Coast, but we had no means to do it. And then a few years ago I was the recipient of a fellowship from Arts New South Wales, which afforded us some time and resources to start the research. Esme and I professionally go back to her first exhibition that I put her in, which was an exhibition at Manly Regional Art Gallery in the 90s, and since then she's been in hot demand as a contemporary shell working artist. During the course of this exhibition she'll be turning 85, a shell worker born at Hill 60 here in Wollongong, lives at La Perouse, has been shell working since she was 4 years old.
I'm from Lombardina. I'm a barred man from Lombardina on the Dampier Peninsula in Western Australia. And our tradition is shell work anyway, work with mother of pearl, so that's why I've always done that. The idea for Shimmer came out of my relationship with Tess, Allas, and she loves shells as well, and so do I, and that's what we do from where I'm from. But we'd been talking about it for I think about 5 years, and we both had different jobs, so we didn't really get time to focus on it, but it was always there, and we were thinking we were going to do this sooner or later. And then it just came out, it ended up that we were able to start working on it.
Created by thinking about something like where I live. So I find something I like, clean the shell up. I'll be thinking at the same time when I'm cleaning the shell, thinking of what I'm going to do on it. And then I'll just draw something on there, and if it looks nice, I'll go with it from there. Cut it to a certain shape, long time, like carving it, getting it to where I want it to be. Tahjee is a traditional design from where I come from. This one means the whale, humpback whale. And see the hole at the top? What we do is we make a belt out of human hair, and it's worn in front like that. During dance and ceremony, it'll be worn there. I drew it up on A4 paper, actually. I drew it up and had it sitting there for ages, like a couple of years. It was just sitting in my sketch pad. And one day I thought, I'll try and make it out of pearl shell. Like this one in here, that's like the back of the shell, so I had to take all the outside of the shell off to get it down to the pearl, the luster color. And then you use like a rough emery, and then you go lighter and lighter, and then you get to the finest one.
Well, the Cruz family are very prominent on the south coast and the east coast of this country. They're a very famous family, and Lillian Sarah Cruz is, or was, the elder stateswoman shell worker of that family. Unfortunately, she's passed away, but she's represented in the National Gallery collection. But the Cruz family themselves have donated the work for loan for this show here to honour their grandmother and to have a representation of the family at the highest level. Darrell Cruz is Lillian Sarah's daughter-in-law.
I joined the Shimmer project in 2011. I was approached by Tess and Darrell, who told me their idea for an exhibition of beautiful shell works and art objects that used shell as a sort of primary medium. These objects from the Australian Museum are from the eastern island region of the Torres Strait, where my mother's family is from. And we visited Throughout the process of researching for Shimmer,
Phyllis Stewart's work and her late daughter Suzanne Stewart's work I felt were really important to be in the exhibition. We commissioned Phyllis to create that box that you see in the show. It's like a beautiful floral garden and almost like a tribute to her daughter's pink little shell-worked box that's in the show. Phyllis is quite well known in this community as a shell worker, and of late, and probably more importantly for her, she's a weaver of some considerable note. So for her to do a shell work for us was pretty much a coup. So we're really pleased to have it, and it's just like a beautiful underwater marine garden box, but it's pretty trippy as well. So I'm really pleased we've got her. My porcelain abalone shell work, called Huskisson 1970, actually references a time when we would go down to Huskisson and Mum would go and get abalone off the rocks, and we'd just run wild around the pool at Huskisson. You can't do that anymore, you're not allowed to get the abalone anymore. But I was visiting Laddie Timbry 2 or 3 summers ago, and on his front porch he had 50 years of abalone shells on his porch, 50 years of eating abalone, and I asked him if I could borrow them, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them yet, but I knew that they'd have something to do with Shimmer. And I got 3 made into moulds, and then I created almost 100 abalone shells. And it references Laddie and his generosity, and it references the time when anybody could go and get some abalone and feed their family. It references how poor people, the food of poor people is now the food of the incredibly wealthy and privileged. It kind of references the ignored, the displaced, and the stolen, perhaps, shells of the Illawarra, Sydney, Newcastle region.